Hi there, my name is Guy Lane. I'm the founder of Vita Sapien organization, and I am the guy who built the Vita Sapien website. And what I want to do in this little presentation that will run for 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer, I just want to walk you through the Vita Sapien website. There is a lot of content on here, and the website really kind of is supposed to be the totality of Vita Sapien as in terms of information and ideas, not practice, of course. So I want to walk you through not the whole website because there's lots and lots and lots of content, but I just want to walk you through the key stuff that if you're new to Vita Sapien and you want to spend, say, an hour, browsing the website, then I'll show you the pages and that are going to be most valuable to you. Okay, so let's get started. So firstly, I want to introduce the lady on the screen here. Her name is Viviana. I don't know, I think Viviana is actually a real person who has been photographed and then digitized and is basically an AI avatar that I use to tell some of the stories that need to be told in Vita Sapien. I appreciate that some people have problems with AI avatars. I also understand the concept of uncanny valley. So uncanny valley is this idea that when AI avatars or human analogs, synthetic analogs of humans, when they are sufficiently close to being human but not quite, they can actually give people kind of like the heebie-jeebies. And I accept that some people will find this off-putting, and I'm just going to have to take that on the chin because the advantage of using AI avatars is that you can have a very good sound and visual production quality very easily. If I were to try and find a real Viviana and put her in a studio and give her a script and give her a cup of tea and drive her in and then drive her out, or that is way, way, way outside of my budget and my capacity at the moment. So I use AIs. You'll also see a lot of me throughout the website on various interviews. I want to, it's important that I do some of the presentations, although I'd like to have other people do a lot of the other stuff. A lot of the presentations that I'm presently doing at the moment could be done by other people. It's just, again, resource constraints. So between me and Viviana and a few other humans and maybe a few other AI avatars, we'll be able to tell you a pretty big story, and I hope you'll be okay with that. The way that the first two pages of the website are actually organized, here's the menu. You'll notice on the menu, let me just go back to that. So the menu's on this little thing called hamburger. I think they call that a hamburger. You click that, and you'll just see that there's lots and lots and lots and lots of pages. They're organized at the moment non-alphabetically in the beginning. This is sort of like order of importance of information. And then when you get to this dashed line, then it all becomes alphabetical. That's the thinking of it. And there's lots. There's about 30 pages in total. It's a very full website. And it gets tweaked a lot as well. So you might come back and then things have been moved. Just be patient with that. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, but back to the first point. So intro is basically the home page, and then more Vita Sapien. So these two pages, the idea of these two pages was that when somebody comes to the Vita Sapien website, because there's so much content, it's basically ordered into 10 little sort of steps. There's 5 on the first page, I think, and 5 on the second page. And the idea is that if you go through step 1 and then step 2 and step 3 and step 4, by the time you get to the end of the 10, you've actually really well briefed. As distinct from coming to the website and then just randomly going from place to place and finding some stuff that may not actually tell the story as fully as it ought to be told. So let me just walk you through what's on the first page. So, welcome to Vita Sapien. Opening statement. About 8% of Western adults are Vitans, life people. So you'll see the expression Vitan used a lot. A Vitan really is somebody who has three characteristics. They love nature, they trust science, and they take action to make things better. Vita Sapien offers a unifying philosophy to amplify the impact of Vitans in fostering a civilization that thrives with nature deep into the future. At the heart of it, Vita Sapien is an organization that I founded in order to share a sustainable life philosophy that we call Vita Worldview. At the heart, this is the belief that underpins this work, is that we believe that the primary cause, the underlying cause, the root cause of the climate and ecological crisis is not technological, it's not economic, it's not political, it's to do with this thing called worldview. And worldview is an idea of the lenses through which we see the world, which are framed by our beliefs, our knowledge, our culture, our personal experiences, our religion, our spirituality, and so on. Okay, and so not all of worldview is amenable to be adjusted, but there are certain parts of worldview that you can actually bring in or replace or swap out. And what we're doing in this work is to say, here are parts of worldview that if you adopt this worldview, you will help to help humanity to survive this century and then advance and then go on into what we call the Verdant Age once the Anthropocene crisis is resolved. So the heart of this work is a philosophy. The philosophy is written in a little book, right? So I'm going to click on this link now, and that will take you here. So this is Vita Worldview. This is the book. Let me just describe to you the benefits of adopting this worldview. Clarity and chaos. Vita Worldview illuminates patterns in the growing chaos to help you make sense of a rapidly changing world. Ecological self. You'll see yourself as a welcome part of life on Earth and foster a spiritual bond with the biosphere, our planetary life support. Empowered thriving. Insight into meaning, aligning your views with the well-being of life on Earth and building community with like-minded people. Grounded resilience, grounding you in reality to protect you against propaganda, conspiracy theory, and misinformation. Empowered action inspires pro-future behavior, helping you to personally grow faster than collapse unfolds, allowing you to stay ahead of the game. So this is the benefits of adopting this particular worldview called Vita Worldview. All right, and if you scroll further down this page, there's access. You can read the PDF for free. Okay, so everything you need in Vita Sapien is free, and some of the things that you might want, you might have to pay for. All right, you can support Vita Sapien by getting the free PDF for $5. If that makes sense. You can get the PDF for free, and if you want to support Vita Sapien, you can also get the PDF by paying $5. Okay, we're a registered charity, so this is a donation. You can access the Kindle ebooks through the US Amazon store or the Australian Amazon store. I think you can also get it through the other Amazon stores. And you can also order bulk orders, and we will send you a box. And so if you order, what am I saying here, 100 copies, we will charge you the cost plus 10%, and the 10% will give us some funds to operate with. And then there's just some photographs of people looking at the book. Okay, so that's the page. If you went through the 10 steps that I told you about, that's the 10th step is the worldview. Read the worldview, but it's linked at the very beginning as well. Okay, so let's go back to here. So that's where there's your opening statement. This is the front page. This is Viviana. Here's the opening statement. That's the link to the page I just told you about. Now, if you didn't want to go straight to the book, then let's go through the first step. So the first thing is to listen to Viviana introduce you to Vita Sapien. This runs for about a minute and a half. And here Viviana is put in with the background is Bennett's Beach, which is this beautiful beach on the coast of New South Wales in Australia. That's the Pacific Ocean rolling into the shore there. So this is a little 2-minute introduction by our AI avatar, Viviana. And then here is an interview that runs for about 3 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes. 45 seconds. This is Nick. So Nick Bestavar is one of the Vita Sapien directors. He's a Vitan minister. And here is a snippet from an interview that he conducted with Paul Beckwith at the UN Convention for Biological Diversity in Montreal in December 2022. And Nick basically just really summarized beautifully what Vita Sapien is offering, which is basically a philosophical and spiritual. It's a rational and spiritual philosophy that helps people connect with nature and with using science. And Nick sums it up beautifully. I really recommend that you just watch that, because that's at the very heart of what Vita Sapien is offering. Next, we have what's called the Plankton Meditation. So this is one of a series of Vitan meditation. The idea of Vitan meditation was that you would have that sort of singular thought relaxation that you associate with meditation, but you'd also be invited into the awe and wonder of nature, as well as actually learning some environmental science about how nature actually functions. So throughout Vita Sapien, you'll see this reference to eco-science and eco-spirituality. And what Vita Sapien does is it brings science and spirituality together, because they were never really supposed to be apart. Science and spirituality have got a common goal in a way, which is to help us understand the world around us and how we ought to live within it. Science has obviously got a big focus on those things that you can demonstrate and prove, whereas spirituality is quite often very much inner, internal, and to do with beliefs about things that can't be proved, like what happens after death. Nobody's got a proper answer for that. So spirituality answers those questions. What happens after death is not a question for science. And so by combining a philosophy of science with a philosophy of spirituality, you have a full and complete philosophy that helps you make sense of the world in light of the climate and ecological crisis, in light of the potential risk of human extinction. This is a philosophy that will help humanity survive what's coming. The Plankton Meditation is I think it runs for about 7 minutes, and it's a meditation that helps you understand how plankton make the clouds. Next is a video that I've shot in, I think 2021 or 2022 maybe, talking about the verdant age. So the verdant age is the potential future time when humans and our living planet thrive in synergy. It's basically when the humans grow up, mature, and establish the political and economic and technological systems that allow us to live with the planet and not risk the destruction of the ecosystem that is our life support system. Anyway, learn about the verdant age, because it's a fundamental concept, and that little video will bring you up to speed very quickly. And then we invite you to subscribe to the newsletter. At the moment, they are very occasional. Eventually, we'd like to be doing probably weekly newsletters with a block of stuff. At the moment, there's really only one person working consistently on Vita Sapien, so there's only so many hands and arms and legs flying around to do the work. So you're not going to get bombarded if you subscribe to the newsletter, but if you subscribe to the newsletter, then you'll be able to receive the important information when we share it. Okay, so that's the end of the first page, and then you come to this slide, which is an invitation to click on and go to the next page. So this is the second page of the website, and it's an invitation to click and take a look at Vita TV. So let's just click and have a look at what's on that. So Vita TV is the idea of creating a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week live streaming TV channel, in the first instance, a YouTube channel, that you can come to at any time of the day or night and get Vita Sapien eco-science and eco-spiritual content. I've got some software. I've been running Vita Sapien TV like for 2 hours at a time, but I'm running it off a laptop. So after about 2 hours, the laptop stops overheating. And we've got a fundraiser out to basically establish a dedicated computer system that we can have the 24-hour content. We've got the content. We've got plenty of content, which don't have the kit nor the resources to fund putting it all together. So there is a fundraiser in here. That's what this thing is. And if you were to click on that link, it would take you to the GoFundMe. Take a look at that. I invite you. And here is some of the 2-hour blocks of Vita Sapien TV that we've run so far. And this is all experimental at the moment. So if you read the text here, you'll see, it explains what the errors were and the learning experiences. And down here are some little pieces of what we're calling bulletins. And again, this is one of our avatars. I think is Christopher, I think his name. And so we use this avatar to basically talk about various news stories or to talk about various science papers. Okay, so that's that page. Let's go back to here and more Vita Sapien. That's Vita TV. The Vita Quests. Now, this is really fundamental. A little video from Viviana talking about the quests. The quests are 12 practices that help you put Vita Sapien philosophy, Vita worldview, into practice. I won't go through them all in detail here, except to say that they are titled iBiosphere, Live with Earthity, Practice a Vita Mission, Grow Something, Find Yourself in Nature, Celebrate the Moon, Cosmos and Magma, Know Your Boundaries, Embrace the Storm, Reinvent New Year, Know Your White Horse, Return to the Flux. That's the 12. And this page basically goes into a little bit of detail. There is more detail on to be had on other pages of the website. I'm not exactly sure where at the moment, but there is a lot more to be said on the quests that I have not got round to actually writing yet. But you'll get the grasp of it just from this page. So take a look at that. That's how to put Vita Sapien philosophy into action. Let's go back to here. There's the quests. Vita Sapien music. So this is a new edition. This is also based on AI. This is AI generated music. And you can listen to some shorts here, like little 20-second samples. There's a full album that you can buy. That's 12 songs. And if you didn't want to spend the money, but you did want to listen to the music, you can go to the Vita Sapien YouTube channel, and I think all or most of the tracks are actually on the YouTube. You have a listen to those. And again, if you were to buy the album, that supports Vita Sapien organization to continue its work and to share its work. Okay, so that's that. There's the music. This is Viviana talking about the difference between Gaia and Gaia. Again, Gaia is a scientific theory, whereas Gaia is a spiritual belief. So it's the fusion between science and spirituality. And Gaia is fundamental to understanding how the Earth system functions and also the spiritual aspects of Vita Sapien. Gaia really is this idea that the biosphere, which is the totality of life on Earth, behaves in a manner that it actually maintains the chemical and thermal equilibrium to make things right for life. So living organisms tweak the environment to make things suitable for life. Now that's the Gaia theory. Gaia, G-Y-A, is the spiritual belief that all of those living things on Earth actually are a single organism of which we humans are a part. I'd like to talk endlessly about this subject, but I want to continue on because we are 20 minutes into this presentation already, and I said it would go for 10. Wear a quendant. You might notice that I am wearing a quendant. I wear the quendant pretty much every day. I take it off at night and I put it on in the morning, and it's my constant companion. The Quendant is a there's the symbol. The symbol is called the Quen. Where is it? There. You can learn about the symbolism of the Quen. It's a powerful environmental symbol, and when it's worn on a pendant, it's called a Quendant. And this is laser cut stainless steel, and it's on a stainless steel string, and it has a magnetic clasp there. Anyway, you can learn all about the Quendant on this page. I'll go there quickly. And it shows you a whole bunch of people wearing the Quendant. Here's the Quendant page. This is Sray wearing a Quendant. You can buy the Quendants here. I manufacture them myself. This is the explainer video that runs for about 10 minutes. On the left there, that's me explaining all about the Quen. And then there is other bits and pieces. And then here is a whole bunch of people wearing the Quen. There's a lot more pictures than you can see here. So let's go back to here. All the Vita Sapien, that's the music, that's Gaia Gaia, that's the Quendant. And then here, number 11, not number 10, is Read Vita Worldview, which is the free PDF as described before. If you want to get into Vita Sapien, you really want to get your head around the contents of that book. It's a small book. These photographs are synthetic photos, so the actual booklet itself, whether you read the PDF or the pocket book as we call it, it's only like about yay big. I don't actually have any with me at the moment because I gave the last one away, and actually don't have the resources to buy my own book. Isn't that funny? But it takes about an hour and a half to read. You can actually sit down with it over lunch and read it in an hour and a half, and it gives you the full Vita Sapien philosophy in about an hour and a half. There's some words in there you might not be familiar with, so be patient. Like, Google up the words if you don't know what they mean. It's important. If you want to be involved in Vita Sapien, you ought to know the contents of that little book. And then the last thing is share Vita Sapien, and to become a Vita Sapien leader, which is to say, basically, if you understand what Vita Sapien is trying to achieve, Vita Sapien is trying to prevent the collapse of the global ecosystem and the annihilation of most life on Earth, including the humans. Let me reframe that in a more powerful way. Vita Sapien's task is to prevent human extinction. And the way that you prevent human extinction is you maintain the integrity of the global ecosystem and the well-being of people. That's our mission. If you want to be a part of that, then you can form a pod. Now, this section hasn't been updated, but what we now have is a page on here called Pod. There, a pod is like a pod of whales. Here's some of the crew from a Vita pod in Brisbane. That's me there. This is some of my pals. This is at a moon party. And this little page here will explain to you how to, how you might actually go about sharing Vita Sapien in your community. There's some stuff in here about the corporate structure of the organization and contact details for me. If you want to have a conversation, you can contact me anytime. There's another little page on here I want to show you, which is Shop. Shop is a way that we raise funds. Let's say it's a way that we try to raise funds, but it's a whole bunch of merch, and it's not as sustainable as you might like. This stuff is coming through a group called Redbubble. So some of these are polyester and oil-based stuff. If you were to buy some of this stuff, just honor it, given its origins and its materials. But recognize that when you wear Vita Sapien symbols, you're helping to promote the sustainable future. And we have to just accept that we live in an unsustainable world right now. So it's not as perfect as we'd like it. But anyway, have a look there. There's quite a lot of stuff, just general merch. There's Quendants, there's True Stones. You can read about those. There's some other icons, stainless icons. There's some meditations. We want to have a whole series of these meditations. Eventually, we're working on those. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on shop. Okay, but one other page I want to show you is fundraisers. So at the moment, we've got a fundraiser to try and bring some money together to get Vita TV going. Ideally, we'd have a whole bunch of fundraisers for various projects that you could support. There's just one at the moment. There's that. And then I just want to show you this thing called Share. So basically, there's a whole bunch of slides that we've put out in our social media that if you wanted to share on your social media, you can just download the images and just post it and just have a hyperlink at the minimum, just have a hyperlink to vitasapien.org. And that's a way that you can actually share Vita Sapien around your community. And what else is there in here? Oh, magazine. So the idea was to have a monthly magazine called Falling Upwards. I got 4 of these produced last year, and then I just got worn out. But take a look at these because they're really pretty cool. They cover off scientific discoveries or scientific papers released that month, environmental science. They drill down into one of the quests into more detail. They have a catalogue of extreme weather events, which is very important. There is a movie review from the Vita Sapien frame, and there is information about environmental activists dealing with the law. And so there's 4 of these, and so take a look at them. And I should have a fundraiser to get back into that. I mean, ultimately, what Vita Sapien is lacking at the moment is the basic resources just to keep the one person who's doing the work solvent. Solvency is a real struggle for me at the moment. And ultimately what we need is a team of people. I can think of probably 7 or 8 individual roles to really start actually spreading Vita Sapien far and wide. But that's a multi-million-dollar budget if you were to spread it out over 3 years. Okay, listen, I'm going to stop here now because we're actually getting close to 30 minutes. That's, I think, a pretty good introduction to Vita Sapien, Vita Sapien philosophy, and the Vita Sapien website. And let me just show you one more thing. If you go to the bottom of the first page and bottom of the second page, you'll actually see this little thingy here. And I invite you to put in your name, email, drop me a message. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.